You're now listening to Uplifted by Jackson Anderson.
Guys, welcome back to Uplifted. I'm super excited for today's episode because today is the second episode of our Thanksgiving series called Thankful for the Challenge. And I know you'll probably hear this a lot from leaders or coaches or really anybody. I've heard this a ton in my life, but I just wanted to do it again because I think it's important, and I think being grateful for the challenge is something we can all embrace and something we can all learn from. So to kick things off, the very first point I wanted to get to is just this one sentence. Just gratitude during trials is about trusting God, and it's not about ignoring pain. Because like I've said before in earlier episodes, when you're going through hard times or going through a trial or just something hard in your life, you're going to feel pain. If you're at sports and you're in a hard game against a really good team, let's just say it's a football game and you're the quarterback and you're just getting sacked and hit, it'll hurt physically. Or say someone in your life recently just passed and your heart is hurting. Like you'll feel pain in any hard times. And so I think I love this sentence because thankfulness during trials, it's not about trusting God, it's about not ignoring the pain. Because ignoring the pain, it kind of leaves it bottled up inside you and it doesn't really help anything. It kind of leaves it sitting in your heart, and later you'll just have this big blow up and you'll get super angry and all those feelings will come out. And I know that because I do that all the time. Ask anybody in my family, they know. I'll keep these emotions in me and then I'll just blow up. But I love that. It's about trusting God, knowing He'll get you through it, and knowing that you can be grateful for Him getting you through it because you trust in Him. Thankfulness brings us closer to Him, right? And I don't know. I just thought that was cool. So that's what I wanted to start off with. The next thing I want to talk about is a scripture, Romans 8:28. And I have it right here, so let me just grab my scriptures. And it says, "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to His purpose." And I love that scripture because I've never really read in Romans before. And I was just kind of looking at a bunch of scriptures based on this topic, and that one popped up. And I liked it, because God uses trials to teach us. He uses trials to strengthen us, and He uses trials to prepare us, because trials always start small, and they'll always get harder as you go on. So I thought that was a cool verse, just short, simple, to the point. But next I want to talk about why gratitude during trials matter. Because you could say gratitude for all of these, and I know I've said gratitude, but you could also say thankfulness, you could also say joyfulness, you could say, like, anything, really. But being thankful shifts our focus, because when you're in a hard time, like, I'm just going to use sports, and I know I've talked about it already, but, like, football camp. I know I've said this 10 times, but I'm going to say it again. You're going through a hard time. We're running hills. We're doing push-ups every morning at 5:30 a.m. You're going at practice. You have 3 practices a day. And it's just a lot, and it's hard. And it's not about ignoring the pain. Every day you're sore. You can barely walk around. You can't ignore that, but you can just trust that it makes you better, right? You could start lifting again, and when you're lifting, it'll be hard. If you're doing 10 reps of squat and it's hard, it's getting heavier weight, and you think you're close, but you just did your 5th, you got 5 more reps, it's hard. But you could just be thankful for the fact that finishing these 5 reps makes you stronger, right? So I think I love that because it shifts our focus. It doesn't ignore it. It doesn't take it away. It just helps us see it in a different angle. It also helps us kind of recognize God's presence, especially in more spiritual ones. Like, say you're struggling with your testimony. When you're thankful for everything in your life, it can kind of help build that back up and strengthen it again. So yeah, I just know. Quick thought. It just shifts your focus, and I love that. It's kind of like the episode I've done before where hope is like light in a tunnel. because it helps you kind of see it differently. It's also like peace in a storm. If you're in the middle of a hurricane, I don't know, this will probably never happen to you, but I just thought of it. Like if you're in the middle of a hurricane or a tornado or whatever, and you're getting scared and you see this one little piece of shelter or something that will help you, you can be thankful for that. It's something little, right? Even if it's a public bathroom and it kind of stinks, you could be grateful for that, and it helps shift your focus because, hey, at least it's protecting me from the storm, right? And then another example, yesterday was the BYU ASU football game. And if you're an ASU fan, I'll still love you, but just know I'm a diehard, true royal blue Cougar, and I will go for the BYU Cougars every day, all day, 24/7, 365. But it was a super fun game. During the first half, BYU wasn't doing very good. We went into halftime losing 3-21. And in football, that's a lot. Like, that's hard to come back from. But we started doing it. Our defense stopped them from scoring pretty much, and then we came back, and it came down. We were down by 5, and they had the ball because our quarterback threw an interception when we were about to score to give them the ball. And so, it was close. We were getting scared. And then on 4th down, their quarterback threw it straight into the air to waste clock because there was only like 5-6 seconds left. But it landed out of bounds with 1 second, and the fans stormed the field. And then everyone had to tell them to get off for that 1 second. And then BYU caught it, but we landed on the 2-yard line. So I'm just saying all this, trying to explain the game. Because that game was it was a struggle. It was a challenge. It was rough. It was hard for everybody. It was hard for me to watch because I'm sitting there on the edge of my seat just like shaking, and then at the last quarter I couldn't sit down. Like I was stressed out. But it was fun, it was a challenge. But I listened to one of the players after the game on BYU, and he just said he was grateful for it. Because BYU had been undefeated this whole season, and now they've lost their last 2 games. And he says, it obviously stinks losing, and it's hard, but he's glad because it helps their team. Kind of makes them tough, and it kind of shows them what they have to do. It's not like they're getting lucky. It's like they lost, and they really have to pick it up and choose what they want to do. So, I don't know, I just thought it was cool because you can be thankful for the challenge. Even though it's hard and even though it stinks, you can be thankful because it'll make you better. It'll make us stronger. So in closing today, just as we end up, I just want to say thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate you guys spreading the word and sharing this with your friends. Because, this is just super fun. So I'll make another episode for Thanksgiving, and then, that'll be the end of our Thanksgiving series. So thank you guys for listening, and remember to be thankful for the challenge and to share this with your friends. All right. Thanks, guys.